Hello everybody, this is Little Neenja, and welcome back to another episode of Neenja's Empire. This is episode 20. It's hard to believe that we've come this far already. But last episode we built that tower. Okay, so we didn't actually build the whole thing, but we started on it, and I finished it in between episodes, because we had already been working on it for 2 episodes. So yeah, let's see if we fly down here. For those of you who are very observant, you may notice that the pools here in the front are a little bit different, and that was because when I finished recording last episode and shut down Minecraft, I logged back on, and the progress that we made in about the last 7 minutes or so of the previous episode was all erased. So I had to rebuild the pools here in the front, and I built them all the way around the sides too, and I lit up the concrete up there because we have fire tick turned off, which means that the fire never receives updates. So normally we would have to have netherrack up there so the fire wouldn't go out, but now we can light any block and it will stay lit. So I put that black concrete up there along the edges and lit that, and I think it looks really cool. It goes well with the theme. So I'm gonna go sleep and then we'll discuss plans. So this tower here is half of a project. It's a gunpowder farm, and the gunpowder is used primarily for rockets, right? So rockets also require paper, and I have been harvesting some sugarcane out of a small patch right out here. Like, this is where I get the stuff for trading, etc. And this works okay. Like, it's actually fairly fast and it's pretty easy. You just come in here and look straight ahead and mine like crazy and get killed by zombies. But yeah, I mean, it's manual, and I want automated because that's how I roll. So let's see here. Can I get lift off? There we go. This tower here is all sort of evil and dark looking and full of death because, you know, creepers. And so I think what I want to do is do like a reverse of this tower basically for the sugarcane farm. So where this one is dark and like has lava and fire, I want the other one to be light. I want basically, when you look at the other tower, at the tower we're about to build, I want you to think spring, essentially. So like light colors, a little bit of green, and instead of the lava, use water. And yeah, so I'm going to go do some resource gathering because I want to use a lot of concrete in this build, and I do have quite a bit of sand and gravel, but I need some bone meal from the bone farm, and I also need some more sand, I think, and I need to plan this thing out because I don't actually know how exactly the farm is going to work. Let me rephrase. I know how it works, I just wasn't sure what layout I was going to use. But I think I have it figured out now. It's going to be like a 16 by 17 square, and it's going to go right here. It just fits in between the pond and the wall. And so now I've got to do some terraforming here. I'm going to flatten out this hill and fill in that valley a little bit and sort of smooth this all down and then make a nice flat space where we can start work on the tower. Okay, so I've got the basic shape laid out here, and so it goes something like this. See, torch tower and the piston can go in the same row, and then we have a row of slime blocks, and then the sugarcane goes here, then you have water here, and then a wall for the sugarcane to slam into, another thing of water, and then see the same thing again, sugarcane, slime block, and then redstone and piston, and then back to back you get another redstone and piston, slime block, sugarcane, water, wall. I misfigured. Okay, so it's gonna have to be a bit wider than that. Just like this. I know what I did wrong. I didn't figure for the walls, or the outside walls, when I figured the width of it. So, easier than explaining it would just be to build layers. So I'm gonna build an entire layer and show you what the plan is. Okay, so this is one layer in place. I'm using the concrete powder here rather than turning it into concrete because we're just going straight up with this build. And so I can build it the whole way up and then put water around the top, and it will flow down and turn this all into concrete where it stands. So yeah, a lot less wear and tear on my pickaxe, and it just makes it easier overall. And then so I'll build the whole thing out of white, and then I'll put the details and color in later. So this is how it works. We have the sugarcane on these layers, and the water flows down from the top. So we can't put the sugarcane in yet. We'll have to build the whole farm all the way to the very top, and then the water will flow down. So we put it at the top, it flows down and hydrates every layer, and then we can just swim up and put the sugarcane in. Also, there will be a redstone torch tower going up through beside each piston. So one there, and then 2 side by side right here, and then 1 over here as well. And then the timer will be down here somewhere. And the floor will all get changed up. Once we have the thing running, we'll clear this out a couple layers down and put in some water streams and hopper collection system. So here's the deal. This tower will be 16 layers, and they're all identical. So I'm going to put every single layer in, and they're just like these, put them all the way up to the top, and get back with you when that is done. Alright, progress has been made. This tower is now 65 blocks tall with this layer here, and so there's 16 layers, and each layer has, let's see, 12 times 4, 48 dirt blocks. So 48 sugarcane per layer times 16, you do the math. So I built the whole tower out of concrete powder, and then I just went along the top and did this and turned the whole thing into concrete. It was much easier than using it, like turning it into concrete and then mining it and then bringing it up here and placing it again. Anyway, so I want to get this thing functional before I worry about design. So everything is in place except for the sugarcane, the water, and the redstone torch towers and the clock. So let's see, the water goes, so like there will be a row of water along the top of this wall, just flows down either side like that and hydrates every row all the way down, except we don't actually need one there, one goes there. So I'm going to have to get a bunch more water buckets. Anyway, so I've got to put water in along the tops of both these walls, and then let's see here. I've got to go along, put the sugarcane in, do the redstone torch towers, and the hopper clock, and then the collection system at the bottom, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the collection system is almost done, and I've got the sugarcane all placed in this one column, and I've got all the redstone torches in place. So if we break this torch, this should harvest. Go right the way up through. It actually takes a little while to get to the top. This thing is huge. Overpowered, yeah, to say the least. And so it just falls down through here, and you know, in each of the 4 rows is the same, and then the water streams all push it along down to this corner here, where there will be a row of hoppers going through here. So now all I have to do is swim up through the other 3 columns and place in the rest of the sugarcane, and then go to these 4 blocks and hook up a power line to a clock. And I'm starting to wonder if this thing isn't actually going to be fairly lag inducing. So I'm going to hook it up to a clock, and then if it just ends up creating too much lag, what we'll probably do is just come over and just put a button down. That way we can manually harvest it whenever we need sugarcane, rather than having a clock harvest it every so often. Because yeah, I mean, this thing is going to produce way more sugarcane than we will ever need. So I just have to swim up like this. It's a bit painstaking, and then just place in sugarcane like so on 3 more columns. Shouldn't take too much longer. That is a strange looking tower. But we have the sugarcane all in place now, and I hooked up the redstone. So I've got an etho hopper clock here with an observer coming out of this hopper and powering everything. And then here on the ends I have 3 hoppers, not comparators either. They're repeaters. Repeaters, there we go. Each set to 4 ticks on each end. So basically that means that not all the pistons fire at the same time, which makes it a little less laggy. And I've been running it for a little bit, and I think this will be fine unless we end up, you know, making a bunch of other big redstone contraptions. In that case, we can just like turn it on to AFK and then turn it off when we want to actually play. But I've got the hoppers in place, and they run into this chest right here, and wow. That is a lot of sugarcane already. Like, that is fast. Yeah, that's faster than I was expecting even. Okay, so this thing's functioning now, and now for the decoration. So here's the thing. I want to use some green concrete on the outside of this thing, and obviously green dye comes from cacti. I don't think you can get it from anywhere else, but I need a cactus farm, so I'm going to go ahead and start work on a cactus farm. It doesn't have to be terribly big. It's not like we're going to use it tons and tons. Just a small cactus farm somewhere, possibly over there. And get that up and running so that we can get our green dye so that we can finish this building. And the other thing I need to do is a little bit of terraforming outside here. So I need to move this wall away from the building because this is, wow, okay, that's fairly laggy. this is pretty close to the wall, and this wall here is not the final outside or like diameter of the building. There's going to be paths going, well, basically I want to have a path that spirals around the building going the whole way up to the top. So yeah, this wall is going to have to go out, and so I'm going to have to move that river out a little bit, or at least make it narrower. Yeah, so that's a little bit of work to do in between clips, or possibly even in between episodes. We'll see how it goes. But for now, I'm going to start work on the cactus farm. So I think I'm probably just going to put it over in this corner right here. Yeah, this looks like a good spot for it. Okay, so I'm going to go into Creative World and do a little bit of designing and testing and see what I come up with, and I'll be right back. So in the end, I decided to go with the very classic cactus string sand trick. So yeah, it's going to be pretty small. I might make it another row and then just maybe 3 layers or so and do a little hut over it. Nothing fancy, nothing big, and definitely not very efficient or lossless, but I mean, we're never going to use that much green anyway, and you know, it runs 24/7. It's not like you can shut it off. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just build the whole thing, and then we can start work on the hut around it. Okay, so I built the thing like this with a checkerboard pattern, and I was watching it, and it seemed like a lot of the cactus were landing on top of themselves and just destroying themselves. So I think what I need to do is leave a space in here and do like a staggered row and then a space and then another staggered row. So I'm going to revamp it a little bit, and I think it'll work a lot better, but it's already working, as you can see, fairly well. Yeah. Okay, so I switched up the cactus, and I mean, there's less in here now, and it uses a few more hoppers per cactus, but it really doesn't matter. I'm not that worried about efficiency in this farm, so long as it works, and it does. So now for design. I came up with a design for this in Creative, and so what I'm going to do is do like a sandstone wall with a little bit of texture variation, use some smooth sandstone and stairs and sand as well. And then let's see here. Oh yes, this. The wall here is too close. It's going to have to be moved out, except that we are right on the beach here. So I'm just going to take down part of this wall here along the waterfront and leave it down for some plans I have in the near future here to do with the water. So I got to take down this wall, and then we'll build up the walls, and I'll show you how that looks. Okay, so the cactus farm is closed in, and right now it's just a big sandstone box. If we pop down to the bottom here, yeah, it's just all sandstone. So what we do is go through like this and just take out, you know, random blocks here and there, and then replace them with smooth sandstone and sand. So like so, something like that, and then bing, bing, and there. You know, just breaks up the texture a little bit. And then to break up the box, we have, let's see here, so like chiseled sandstone at the bottom, like so, and then a pillar of smooth sandstone going all the way up through and stopping, let's see, here? Yeah. And then we put stairs on it like this. And so, and then we can light it, and it will light up the top of this, and well, I mean, I guess it doesn't really need it, it's slabs, but and provide sort of a cool corner piece. And so we'll do that on all 4 corners. And I'm thinking maybe if we do something like this, yeah, that looks cool. Right, oops, that stairs in wrong. Okay, so I'll do that on the 4 corners and add the texture variation in, and then I think this thing will be pretty much done. Well, I did the one wall, and it was just sort of missing something. I moved the posts up 1 block and added a ring of dark oak fence posts around the top, and then this arch here, dark oak highlights. Yeah, that looks much better. I think it could still use a little something though. Maybe, let's see, do that. I'm not sure. How about this? Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to do this on the 4 sides, and then we'll be done with this farm. And it's done, and looking pretty cool if I say so myself. This arch here I had to offset from this one because if I had matched the heights, so put the bottom at the same place and the top at the same place, this wouldn't have been an arch at all. It would have just been a straight angle. And when I smashed that down, it didn't look good to have the bottoms at the same place. I just moved the whole thing down, and it still looks just a little bit off, but much better than it did look. And here in the front, I did a sort of entryway type of thing, except there's no entrance, there's just this shulker box, which will look much better when I dye it green for the cactus. So I have to go smelt this stuff up. And by the way, how much sugarcane did this farm produce while I was building that thing? I've had it running the whole time. Whoa. We're gonna have to build like a secondary storage system, like the entire thing in there. We're gonna have to rebuild it out here just for sugarcane. That is insane. I feel like maybe, just maybe, I may have gone a little over the top with the sugarcane farm. Right, smelt up the cactus. Alright, so now that I have a ton of green concrete, here's the plan. I want to terraform this hill, so take it at like this angle here, down at about this curve here, something like this, and then, you know, take it down at that angle, all the way down to, let's see, somewhere around here, maybe just above this redstone, at like this level here. So have grass here, and then have a fairly flat base around the tower, and then on the tower itself, take green concrete like this and replace the bottom band, let's see here, and then go up like this in streaks to make it kind of look like there's something like almost like there's something growing up the tower, you know, and then have like the whole bottom be replaced. Come on now. Like so, and then another streak here, and have that go the whole way around the bottom, and then also coming down from the top, and obviously quite a bit higher than that, and you know, mixed up a little bit, and then have at like various places, maybe, so say this is the tower, have the vine, you know, maybe come out from the tower like this, and then go back in again, or whatever, and then here and there the vine would curve out, so say something like this, and then you have a grassy pathway that, or grass and wood, that wraps around the tower and goes the whole way to the top, that you can actually walk up, and it looks like the vines are supporting it, and then have coming from the top like a series of small waterfalls, and have like a creek running down beside the grass pathway, and have a little bit like that tower over there, but like with water instead of lava, and have just sort of pools here and there and little waterfalls and so on. But unfortunately, that is going to have to wait for the next episode because we're all out of time for the day. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Oh, and by the way, I just went into Creative to fly to the top to get a screenshot for the thumbnail, and I realized something. This entire time, the middle two columns of sugarcane haven't been harvesting at all. And the reason for that is, with a 1-tick pulse going into a repeater that's set to 1 tick, for some reason that pulse is too short to update the redstone torch, which means that this column never updates. So apparently setting a little bit of a delay on the repeaters fixes that problem. And here I thought the farm was already overpowered. Okay, bye for real this time.